so it does not look good, is what I'm hearing.
Oh, there we go. Now we can see it.
Okay. As long as y'all can see.
You may want to adjust like your angle, but otherwise, yeah, we look.
Meaning like that? Or should I just do this?
Oh yeah, that works too. Yeah, I think,
Just
you can see a little bit
fix
more.
my chair pretty much.
Fair enough. Yeah.
just move yourself rather than the camera.
Yeah, exactly. It's easier.
I love how you never have us mute us when you have us like started.
No, I love it.
It's dealing with this. This shows off all of our technical difficulties all the time. We're not just scrambling to get started.
We know exactly what we're doing.
Hello
This is
welcome
100% scripted.
to the Villains Talk Show and Podcast.
What are we talking about?
My name is C4, along with
housekeeping
Greasy
and
Boy
analytics
and Insanieac. We are on the cusp of World War III, and we'd like to thank you all for joining us here. Today's topic is a myriad of things. We've just named it housekeeping and other things. But we have just a bunch of stuff to talk about.
Housekeeping and other things.
Whoa, there's a cat.
And
There's a cat.
Yeah,
A shoulder cat.
no real
Pay attention to the cat.
there's even
Not
less
to the
rhyme or
C4 host.
reason to the podcast today. As always, I'd like to thank our viewers, and on the podcast or in live, I'd like to thank our only Patreon, For the Wheel. If you want to support us on Patreon, there's a link tree in the description of all our stuff. If you want to watch previous podcasts, you can watch them live on YouTube. You can watch previous videos on YouTube, or you can watch them anywhere on podcasts. On that same note, I'd like to thank Buzzsprout for being the one that we use. If you want to start a podcast, we'd suggest using Buzzsprout. We have a link in the description of the Twitch video and the YouTube video, and on the link tree that you can use to go and start your own podcast through Buzzsprout. It's free. That out of the way, I'm going to segue with, we are now on a new platform. I'd like to give a shout out to Wisdom. Brand new podcasting platform that reached out to us. That's right, listeners. Some podcasting platform named Wisdom reached out to us. Because we're the live streamers. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
Because we're wise, obviously.
I am flabbergasted, and
I thought it was because we were pretty.
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted. It wasn't sooner. Like,
yeah,
obviously,
that's the words I'm coming to right now in my mind.
We have contributions to give.
It's just because we're pretty.
To all those on Wisdom, and we thank you.
So much wisdom.
So if you're listening on Wisdom, please tell them how wise you've become from listening to our podcast.
Please don't lose your minds.
Oh, no, yes. That's the whole... dude, I thought that was like the original goal.
My goodness. Wisdom. Thank you.
That being said, we have a lot of different things to touch on today. Do we want to start with topical news, or do we want to start with more vanity news, or do we want to end with vanity?
Start with vanity. I like
start with vanity.
Vanity starts, you get it right out of the way.
All right.
Right.
Oh, hello.
We love talking about herself.
Oh my god, I gotta pronounce this right. Hello, KSI. Hello, KSI. It's nice.
This is a friend of mine.
Thank you. I know we're so wise.
For those not as familiar, go check out the Man with the Iron Heart /stream. Wonderful man.
Wait, can I swear on you? Yes. No, we don't care about children. Fuck them.
Yeah. No,
fuck them.
Do your thing.
Fuck everyone.
Best part about our last stream.
Fuck.
Whoa. We are a good Christian podcast.
I'm a Jew, thank you. I'm a fucking star right behind.
Yeah, let's just try to keep some things to a certain point. But yes, it's all good.
All right. You know what?
Let's not push the envelope as far as we can.
To derail things right off the bat, today I had the saddest moment in my entire life. I was having dinner with my dad and my sister, because my mom was at work. And my sister was we were talking about Passover and how it's coming up, and she looked at us and she said, "Oh my God, Passover's on Easter again. What is this, like 5 years in a row?" And me and my dad just looked at her, and I said, "Yeah," and then she looked at me and said, "Like, well, Is that's
Wait,
that?
what?
Then she looked at me and said, "That's unusual, isn't it?"
What?
And then I looked at her, and I looked at my
Wow.
dad, and I'm like, "How did we fail you?" And she's like, "What?" And I honestly started laughing. I'm like, "How did we fail you so hard that you don't know that Passover and Easter are the same goddamn day? You're a
Yeah.
Jew.
My goodness.
You're a Jew."
My goodness.
Oh.
I was a little bit like, I had to take a moment to think about it because I don't really care for Easter or I'm not very religious in a sense. So like for me, and then I like after you got to like explaining in the first step of like wait a second, and I'm like wait what? I like knew that, but I didn't have that for center. It was like my thought. I'm like yeah, like isn't that like oh man, that's wild. We are the wisest here. We know things and stuff.
Only the wisest.
Anyway, so that
It's
was
sad, but we are the wisest.
so we're gonna start with vanity, I guess.
For those not available, not too familiar, we do run our stuff off of Discord as well. We have the Villains Talk Show Discord. Check it out. You know, you can chat with us and you can shoot us message topics and all that wonderful stuff, and be part of the talk show after pre-shows and yeah, be all in touch with all our villainy things where we usually do our stuff before stream. So feel free to join the Discord.
Wait, was I supposed to add that to the link tree?
What else did you add to the Discord recently, there, Mr. Insaniac? Entice the populace.
We're still working on some brief. I'm not the most greatest modder and on Discord and stuff, so I'm gonna. Yeah, I know there's someone who's literally going.
Whoa!
To
Don't sell yourself.
that I am selling myself short because I'm realistic about my abilities. I figured out how to put a game mod on our Discord. Oh, come check it out while you can, guys. Eventually, we're gonna so there's a villains or eventually RP setup where you'll be able to go through have characters set up, and you'll have various encounters through some of our one shots, different characters that have popped up and characters that we've played in, and different situations that we've ended up in, and still a work in progress, but feel free to come on and do all that wonderful stuff part of the Villains Talk Show and see how slowly we figure things out one step at a time because we're the greatest. And the wisest, of course.
We always know what we're doing.
Always.
Think of South Park, like the episode with the otters. The wise one. The wise ones.
Everybody, the wise ones are crouching.
Perhaps we can live with the humans. Kill the wise one.
Kill the wise one. Yeah, I will crush his head like an oyster on my tummy.
Another little bit of vanity news for those watching the podcast. This is episode number 101.
Woot woot.
We don't have any Dalmatians yet, though.
I'm
surprised.
101
we have 100 episodes. I'm surprised you people listen to us. I'm going to be honest, and I love you so much because of it.
And we are only 110 downloads away from 1,000. That means there's 1,000 times people listen to us talk. So thank you all. Thank you all very much.
I'm impressed, and I'm also blown away.
But that's it for vanity housekeeping.
I don't know about that. We're always still a little vain once in a while. Let's be honest.
I mean, you are.
Let's be honest here.
I think you're so good you can't even show your face to the rest of us.
I'm so good. So good that my name is so twice so you can say it.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
That was what I was going to say.
So KSI just asked real quick question. Who is better, Darth Bane or Darth Sidious? The answer is Darth Sidious. I don't that's not even a question.
I can't wait to see this can of worms open up. I know this person.
It's just Darth Sidious. Like there's no debate there.
Man.
If you had said Revan, I've been like, okay, now that's a debate. Because did Revan because it is canon that Revan turns back to the dark side. That was made canon. So does that make him more evil that he knew he was evil and still went through the Jedi Council just so he could destroy the Jedi Council from in? Does that make him more evil than Sidious? That's a question. Bane though, Bane was a bitch. I'm not the biggest
Revan kind of like I'm not a Revanite. I know Jeremy's a big fan of Revan. I never played the first KOTOR, I played the second one. But I'm not my Darth Maul is my dude. I know he wasn't the greatest Sith Lord in any regards. Many have been way better than Darth Maul. But I I'm a that's the first Sith Lord I've ever seen. So that's what I stick to my guns.
C4 was never Sith Lord.
You know who's a better Sith Lord than Darth Maul?
My first Darth Maul.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
At least 30.
I was gonna say Jar Jar Binks.
Nihilist, Darth Scion.
There's
Darth Jar Jar. That theory is even pretty good. Darth Plagueis. There's a number that are better than Darth Maul.
Semi-canon.
KSI. You know who dies like a little bitch because he isn't actually like a good Jedi? Darth Bane. Just throwing that out there.
He's original for the Darth
like
Bane.
A little bitch.
Because of the set of the rule of two. I don't know, man. I like the concept that I've seen where they make I like the Star Killer Darth Maul clone. I thought like there was a really interesting.
Did you guys watch Mandalorian season 3 featuring Boba Fett? Was it any good?
The Mandalorian's only in it for like the last 3 or 4 episodes. Yeah,
4 full episodes.
It's because he's just used. It's because he's transitioning to the House of Fett. But I'm gonna be honest, it was one of the cheesiest like shows.
So bad.
The tactics in that show were awful.
They did Boba Fett so dirty. Like they
make
him so
stupid. Dirty. They make him look so stupid.
I love it.
They're getting into it with salt droids. I'm not gonna take my ship that can literally shoot through these fucking like shields like no problem. I'm gonna bring in a Rancor. To fight this thing. It's wild. Like there's people that are running from droids in Tatooine, and they're running through open fucking like causeways and they're getting shot from behind. Nobody knows the concept of cover in this show. It is mind-boggling.
Well, that's Star Wars. I mean, no,
I know. I heard someone put that out at one point. I had somebody get in an argument at one point where, back in the old days when the stormtroopers couldn't hit anything, but at least back when then some of the people knew how to hide behind a wall to shoot people.
No, they did.
Did they?
That's ridiculous.
People did.
I remember that hallway scene in Star Wars: A New Hope, where they're
I know.
Chewbacca and Han Solo kill like 6 stormtroopers in 6 shots. Yeah, like come on.
I'm more from the first part with the rebels. Some of them are smart, but a lot of them are also really fucking dumb. So it's hard to tell. You get a really mixed batch with any kind of tactics in Star Wars. It's so cheesy, but I mean, it's meant to be cheesy, right? That's the whole point.
Here's the tactic: throw everything at the thing, and hopefully you can throw one missile into the thing that's the size of a fucking television screen.
Hopefully we destroy
the giant death machine.
So that way the big thing gets blown up. Yeah,
numbers game.
Yeah, it always is. That's
you know
true.
what?
100%.
They just didn't have the technology to show it, but in reality, that rebel force was like 1 million strong, and it was just a numbers game.
Well, it's just because they had many different, like, smaller people spread throughout different spaces and had that smaller cluster of different, like...
I'm glad Rujala was... Yeah, lack of self-preservation, right? And then...
yeah, exactly.
They don't need to self-preservation.
Like,
they were called clones.
They come out to, like, fight people in the middle of the streets. Like, they're people with jetpacks, and they're inside a building, and they have cover, and they have tactical advantage of having to storm their location, and they leave that to go have this show-off scene in the center of all of it, like, literally in an intersection of a 3x3 road. Like, there's not much more open that you can get. For bounty hunters... There's literally no logic, and it's just retarded, and it makes the one person that actually shows some form of tactical intelligence, the one bounty hunter, Fennec Shen, who actually knows how to competently kill people and not get caught, but still is stuck with these fucking morons, is hilarious.
What are we talking about? I don't know who Fennec Shen is.
The Boba Fett show. She's the other girl that follows around.
Okay.
She's the other assassin that follows him the whole time. and her competence is like she has a level of intelligence that like you could see in some of the shows Boba used to have.
You know what? She probably has metachlorians. So she probably
that must be it. Common sense, right? That's what it's at this point.
Yeah.
It's all about the metachlorians. As KSI says, dodge the fire, you wizard. You can't. How do you fight space wizards?
Fire.
With a bigger space wizard.
With a bigger space
a dark
wizard.
Space
it's so
wizard.
True. unless you have the power of being the main character.
That's
what
the biggest
if you have
space wizard of them all.
Smaller space wizard though.
Stupid
space wizard does things too.
Damn space wizards making space wizards look bad at other space wizards. Fucking space wizards ruining it for space wizards. How dare they?
Someone once told me that A New Hope was just Lord of the Rings rewritten.
Kind of is.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it kind of is. There's just certain key points that are just like restaggered in a grander scheme of the overall story. But yeah, pretty much.
Okay, that's a great point, KSI. Just on that, Beskar, okay, like the Beskar armor and shit. Like I get it. It's like a super strong whatever, like space alloy.
Zoe is one of those, yeah.
But you're telling me it is powerful enough to block and go toe to toe with something that's considered to be literally focusing pure energy from a crystal into such a hot and focal point that it's supposed to be like the same heat as a sun, and it can go toe to toe with that.
Yes. That makes perfect sense.
I mean,
it's clearly just super.
I don't know that.
So it can't
I don't know the density is it. There's no way it would be able to fully stop penetration at all. There's nothing that could. There's no density in metal that can do that. And it's literally space metal, is what they're telling you.
Well, I know.
Metal beats space swords.
If you're gonna have wonderful space metal, why do you have magical phase swords? Like
I mean, there's also
now you have the magical phase sword that's better than other magical phase swords because it's black. Ooh.
That's beat the space metal, and it can't. It's just for show. No, I understand, but like
Damascus steel.
Okay,
a lot of people.
It's not the same thing.
So Damascus steel is harder than regular steel, and the way to make it is lost. But Damascus steel is not stronger than modern iron. That's just because of science. Yeah. But I do understand what you're saying, KSI. That it's the idea of Damascus steel, or like a really rare form of metal that can stand up and is beyond most kinds of technology that are like it. But a lightsaber is focusing pure energy. Like
it's just the rock paper scissors game. They got to have a way to somehow make it make sense that it stops this somehow.
They could just
or else
make
why
it
wouldn't
cool
everyone
bullets?
A space sword?
Like I always thought to myself, if I'm a bounty hunter in fucking Star Wars, I want the bullets that go around corners. So what I do is I have two guns. I shoot one gun that's facing towards the fucking lightsaber, and one behind me as the bullets go around and hit him in the back. Unless they have
there's a lot of ways that they could attract it, right? There's many ways that, and there's the similar question of why don't the space wizards just turn off other space wizard swords is honestly like genius.
Just to that point, that is
there is actually
the Mandalorians lost that war. A lot of Mandalorians died to the Jedi. They were the only ones that could stand to the Jedi.
Because they saw it coming. This time they didn't. That's where Sidious won.
But it just looks that way. It's not. It
just looks that way. Yeah, it's not. It can't be. If you think about, it's a symbol.
But now it's set. But now it's basically like it's better than other lightsabers. I'm waiting to see the fucking video or show where we watch two lightsaber battles and someone's lightsaber like shatters, but not like at like the hilt, like the actual saber. Yeah, and everyone's gonna fucking.
That would be interesting.
No, it wouldn't.
But the black saber,
the
black saber is literally just another lightsaber. It's literally a figurehead. It's the idea of Excalibur to Mandalorians is what it is.
Yeah.
The person who wields it is king. But you have to wield it through certain circumstances that indict you into kingdom, like into being a lord of this army.
Just so we could touch on this, because I don't like. You guys can look it up to just so I know, but so you guys are clear.
They had also
a good dark side user can easily defeat Flame. All they do is they just control it and they push it back. Now Jedi
it's just pushing
can't.
Back before.
Flame is really easy to kill Jedi with because it's so random that they're so based on order. It's not really what they're good with. But
they'll use objects to redirect or block it instead. That's usually what Jedi.
The Rancor are not real creatures though. KSI. The Rancor were made. They're dark side.
They're bred.
Yeah, they were dark side bred creatures.
Yeah. What about the Zillo Beast?
That never got like fuller exploration, from what I understand.
It did though in the final season of Clone Wars, as well as in
not really.
Show. Whales. That's all I'm gonna say.
I watched Whales and Darth Maul. The Clone Wars show ended with the Zillo Beast getting just taken away, and nothing came from it at all.
Yeah, but in the final season that came out last year, there was more about it.
Not really. I watched that.
There was more
with the Ahsoka Darth Maul showdown. Yeah, no, it wasn't. That honestly, that was the better fight. C4. I know you probably didn't watch it, but that was the better one.
The only good the only good fight was the
Darth Maul
original
tries
Clone
to twist
Wars. The original Clone Wars show when it was animated with fucking General Grievous, and those fights were
that was a good one too. What I really liked of the Clone Wars show is that Darth Maul tried to turn Ahsoka onto his side. And I really think if that actually had worked, they would have had a good chance. But it didn't because story reasons. Probably
was it the Knights of the Old Republic that made the Rancor? I thought it was older than that.
I'm pretty sure it's older than that, but I'm not 100% sure. I know they're supposed to be bigger creatures that the Rancors are bred from.
So we're clear. I'm not a Star Wars nerd. I learn a lot of Star Wars because my dad is. I'm all about.
He's a Sidious fan.
I'm all about Dune. Oh, excuse me, Sidious. You mean the greatest dark side user of all time?
Yeah, so you're a fangirl. That's what I said.
I'm not a fangirl. I just appreciate someone who's good at their craft.
It sounds like a fangirl to me. Do you have an OnlyFans account? We should probably make one if you're gonna be a fangirl.
I wish.
I didn't get to see the first KOTOR.
Oh, the original Knights of the Old Republic. That game was so
the Rancor were created.
I heard they're doing a remake or something soon for it.
That game was so good.
That makes sense.
So
yeah, I've heard like a lot of the basic overarching events, but I never played it through it.
Actually, speaking about Star Wars games, did you guys ever play it was for N64, Shadows of the Empire?
And, I didn't get to browse it.
Anyone in chat ever play Shadows of the Empire?
I did.
Oh yeah, the Star Forge.
Where your best friend is like a fucking droid and you're playing like Han Solo's like cheap copy, but the gameplay was like fucking so much fun. You get to play in like the knockoff Millennium Falcon. Oh god, I loved that fucking game.
Did you ever get around to playing The Force Unleashed?
No, I should have. I wanted to.
I enjoyed The Force Unleashed.
It was really good. Starkiller was a pretty impressive fucking dark side.
You just need a Wii and you can.
No, they just made him canon, didn't they?
I'm not sure if they made him canon.
He's canon in Legends.
They named a base after him in the movies. That's it.
Not in the
Starkiller base.
Disney
yeah, that was in Disney. That was the only thing they made a reference to him is the base named after him. There's no otherwise.
Yeah.
There's no way to say
he is just canon in Legends.
Yeah, but otherwise, he there was supposed to be a bigger.
But if we go to Legends, like there's some amazing dark side users. Like you talk.
Oh yeah.
Like I read the original novels, and those were really good.
See, like I said, my favorite character concept is Darth Killer, which is it's Star Killer mixed with Darth Maul's genie.
Darth Killer.
It's really dumb. Oh, Maul Killer. That's what it was called, Maul Killer. But yeah,
that's so George Lucas!
It's pretty lame, but the character art I've seen for it looks really cool.
You know what? I kind of wish it was still the 90s.
They had him do it at one point, but the character had he went insane through rage and killed himself, or like went nuts. I don't like because the rage Darth Maul inside the body and mind of this creature clone that had been
piece of shit.